Oh, why is it so difficult to estimate time in product development? Whenever I get asked a question like this, I always cast my mind back to a conference that I was at where the title was something like Pigs on a Road. And it was a wonderful metaphor to explain it. It was a true story by the presenter. It's not mine. And unfortunately, I can't remember who it was. But the explanation was really simple. You drive to work every day. Okay? And you know how long it takes you. Roughly, you will say, it takes 10 minutes, it takes 15 minutes, whatever it was. And this gentleman was the same. He knew within a few minutes how long it would take him to get to work. So it's reasonable then to say, let's say an hour. It's reasonable then to say, well, an hour from leaving home, you will arrive at your office. And 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, that may be true. But then one day you turn around the corner and there are pigs on the road and you can't get past. And there's a traffic jam. There's nothing you can do. You can't turn around because the car's behind you. And you can't go ahead because there's pigs. And you can't turn sideways because you'll never happen at a junction that's useful. So you just have to wait. So that one time in 10, one time in 100, it doesn't take you an hour, it takes you 3. How long does it take you to get to work? Well, now it's anything from an hour to 3 hours to do the same job. That's the problem that we have in estimating things based on time. Is you don't know what's going to get in your way. You don't know what's going to pop up. Anything that we're doing in the product development space has not been done before. It's not solving that problem with those people, with those technologies in that organizational context. It's not happened. Because if it had happened, we wouldn't need to do it. We only build things once, ideally. So when we're saying how long something takes, we're guessing. It's an educated guess based on experience, but it's a guess. That's all an estimate is. Okay. So how does that help us? It might take me an hour to complete it, but for unknown circumstances, it might take longer. Pigs on the road might be a 2-hour delay, it might be a 6-hour delay. You don't know. Estimating in time doesn't make sense. Instead, and to bring another metaphor into the mix, think of effort. Okay. When I'm feeling fit and healthy, I like going to the gym, moving lumps of metal around. And one of the key exercises you do is a squat. Barbell across your shoulders, sit down, stand back up. Nice and easy. Right? You hit 100 kilos. I don't know where you are today. Maybe that's easy for you, maybe not. But you hit 100 kilos. And it's hard. It's the most you've ever done. You can only do it once, but you do it. Brilliant. Well done. You've got a 100 kilo squat. Right? After a few years of training, you can do 100 kilos. It's part of your warm-up sets. Right? You're squatting 150, 200 kilos on a regular basis, twice the amount. Does that 100 kilo squat take more or less effort? Well, it's exactly the same amount. Physics tells you you're moving 100 kilos straight down and straight back up. It's the same amount of energy. Your body is better at managing it. Your central nervous system has learnt what it needs to do. Your muscles know what they need to do. Your technique is probably a bit better. So maybe it's a touch less effort. But ultimately, you're moving 100 kilos from stood up to sat down, squatted down and back up. It's the same amount of effort. That is a much better way of looking at it. Estimate in effort and it will stay consistent. Okay? If you get better at something, it's still the same amount of effort. You just have more capacity to use it or to do it. So estimating time is fraught with issues. Okay? Not least the fact that you don't know what's around the corner. Estimate an effort and derive the time from that. If as a team you know you burn down 40 points in a sprint, when you get better it's just going to be more points. If instead you chose 400 hours worth of work in the upcoming sprint and you improve, well, you have to re-estimate everything because You don't know in which bits you have improved and which bits you haven't, because you've never done that work before. So you have to look at it again and consider how you're going to solve those problems and whether or not the how is impacted by your improvement. I always recommend that you steer away from time. It drives many strange behaviours in organisations, okay? But for no other reason than to do it sensibly, to do it with a level of professionalism. If you estimate in time at the end of every sprint, you need to seriously consider all of the estimates in your backlog and whether or not they need amending. And that is wasteful. Instead, consider the effort it is going to take to deliver one, and that will remain true. You will just be able to do more going forwards. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.